Today is November 6th, which means it's Christmas season. It's the last Inside the Irish of the year, and we've got a special Christmas-themed episode. We'll be talking all things Christmas, and I guess we'll talk about soccer too. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it. Thanksgiving doesn't count. Inside the Irish starts now. I am on Wake's side for musical chairs. I like Mr. Brightside, sue me.
For Herm, her shot's blocked. Fisher gets it back. Sammy Fisher fires and she scores. Sammy Fisher delivers the opening goal. And tracks it down. Nunez up again for Hamilton. And the freshman, Aubrey Hamilton, has finished it off.
Notre Dame against the world. Welcome back inside the second floor of the Duncan Student Center. I'm Gold, and I'm joined by Frankincense and Myrrh. Just kidding, I'm Chris Frick, and I'm joined by Liz Perna and Kieran Cantwell. Guys, it's good to have you here.
It's good to be here, Chris Frick, I won't lie.
Yeah, we got a fun show for you today. We've got men's and women's soccer to talk about, but more important than that, we have Christmas music to talk about. Guys, I want to start this show off with our Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs. This is probably the most important thing we've ever talked about on Inside the Irish, or really probably any TV show ever. So Kieran, get us started with this important conversation of the Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that we have researched more for these Mount Rushmores than we have for anything before Inside the Irish. And I'm going to kick it off on my Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs. First, we have The Little Drummer Boy. I chose this song because I performed it in first grade for my Christmas program, so it has to be there. Then we have Feliz Navidad, also a great song. And then my love of Christmas movies comes in here as number 3 and 4 are Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman.
Is Rudolph a movie, or would you say that's like a movie or a Christmas special?
I'd call it a Christmas movie.
Okay.
I mean, a Christmas-themed movie.
Do you relate to Rudolph at all? Your face gets a little red sometimes.
Yeah, Rudolph is my boy. You know, he understands the struggle sometimes. You know?
Yeah, I relate to the dentist character.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a dentist.
Awesome.
Liz, what's your Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs?
My Mount Rushmore of Christmas song starts out with Mistletoe by Justin Bieber, solely because of that one perfume commercial when it first dropped. And then second, we've got Believe by Josh Groban. It was on the Polar Express, and it's just, if you play that while walking across campus at Christmas time, you feel like you're in a music video, and it's pretty great. And then we got Baby Please Come Home. I don't think that one needs an explanation. And then the last one is Hot Chocolate by Tom Hanks, because similar to the Polar Express, here we also only have one rule: never ever let it cool. Chris.
Liz, you have two Polar Express songs on your list.
Yes, I do.
That's a wild take. I mean, that movie doesn't Tom Hanks do like most of the voices in that movie?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He's actually the best.
They spent all their money on Tom Hanks and no money on animation. In terms of my Mount Rushmore of Christmas list, I guess mine looks a little different. I mean, just to start off with some honorable mentions, because I think these songs should get some love. So I've got in the honor. This is not the Mount Rushmore. This is like the mountain below Mount Rushmore, the little baby mountain in South Dakota.
It's like the one in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's the Vegas Mount Rushmore. So I mean, same old lang syne. We were talking about this before the show. In terms of the songs that I listen to at Christmas, it's probably my top 4. But I would say it's not a Christmas song. It's like a song that takes place during Christmas. It's a thin line, but it's different. And then Jingle Bell Rock, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, the Frank Sinatra version. Little Drummer Boy, I didn't perform it in first grade, so I can't put it on my Mount Rushmore. It's a good song. And then in terms of my Mount Rushmore, I've got All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey. I mean, no offense, Kieran, but if you don't have that on your list, did you have it on your list?
No.
You both didn't have it on your list?
Shoot.
All right, well, to all the people out there, I mean, if you don't have this on your Mount Rushmore, what are you doing? This is what defines, this is the George Washington of this Mount Rushmore. It's not the original, I guess, but it's the most important. And then after that, I've got the Christmas song by Nat King Cole, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. That's been popular on TikTok lately. That's like
it has.
That's the TikTok Christmas song. And then Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses. That's a bop. And then give some Jersey love, the Bruce Springsteen version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
We love Jersey on this desk.
We love Jersey, right, Kieran?
I'll say it.
I'm a huge fan. You know, I'm not from there like you guys are, but I think it's a great state, and I would love to come visit sometime. Yeah.
We get snow there during Christmas. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
See, that's something that I never really got back home. You know.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later in the
yeah.
show. Yeah. We got this planned out, you guys. Speaking of plans, we got. I guess we'll kind of shift away from soccer or from Christmas since this is a sports show, and we'll talk about soccer. Men's soccer, to be exact. Men's soccer later tonight. They play Louisville. And Notre Dame currently sits at 4th in the ACC North standings. They sit at 6 points. Louisville sits at 5th with 4 points. Top 4 make the ACC tournament. So Notre Dame needing a win or a draw tonight against Louisville to clinch a spot in the ACC tournament. A loss to Louisville would jump Louisville into 4th place, and they would take the spot. So a big game tonight against Louisville. What are you guys looking for in that game? Kieran, we'll start with you.
Yeah, it's a huge game, a must-win at this point in the season. And I'm looking at Mohamed Omar. He's our midfielder. We really need to control the middle of the field and try to prevent Louisville from getting to its attackers. Because Louisville has some very strong forwards. I would say that's the strength of their team. Last time we played them, Pedro Fonseca and Elijah Amo, they were the two who scored against us, and they are the only Cardinals players this season to have multiple goals. So we have to really try to lock down on them. So I'm looking to Mo Omar to try to control the middle of the field.
Liz, what about you?
I just think this is a very winnable game for us. In our first matchup on October 3rd, it was pretty even in the first half. Louisville outshot us 4-3, but then in the second half, Notre Dame outshot Louisville 10-3, and the Cardinals only won on a penalty kick that they scored in the 51st minute. So I think the Irish could really get this done tonight, and I think they just have to play up to their level and not let Louisville take it away from them like they did last time.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting game to look at because, you guys mentioned Notre Dame lost to Louisville earlier this year, 2-1. One of their 2 losses in the ACC thus far. But that was a game in which Jack Lynn, Notre Dame's top offensive player, he was still coming back from injury, playing limited minutes. Actually scored a goal in that game, but he's someone who, now that he's playing back at full strength, Notre Dame's offense, which has struggled a lot this year, has looked better. So I think that'll be interesting. Who are you looking for in terms of, you kind of mentioned Mo Omar, Liz, who are you looking at in terms of the difference maker in this game?
I think Jack Lynn will be the difference maker in this game. He has 3 out of the 6 total goals for the Irish this year, so I think he'll definitely be a player to watch tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jack Lynn is another huge difference maker, a really impact player in this one. I would say he's non-arguably our best player coming into the season. He was on the ACC, all ACC preseason watch list voted on by the coaches, and he's really performed well so far this season when he's been on the field. And then you did mention that he missed half the game against Louisville last time, and that's Louisville's only win so far this year is actually that game. And I would say that Jack Lynn being back is a huge, huge advantage for the Irish. And I'm also looking at the goalies, too. You notice that Kagan McLaughlin, he's got both goalies, Kagan McLaughlin for the Irish and Jake Gelnovach for Louisville. Both have played 6 games. However, McLaughlin has 17 saves and only 7 goals allowed. On the other hand, Gelnovach has 21 saves but has allowed double amount of goals, 14 goals. So we have to be very aggressive, try to get as many shots as we can on goal and force Gelnovach to really step up.
Yeah, and kind of related to that, I think the key thing for Notre Dame in this game in terms of like their key playmakers is going to be their back line, particularly their center backs, Philip Quinton and Sendon Farley, because I think Notre Dame, they're obviously fine with walking out with a draw, so I think they're going to be looking to play a more conservative style of play where they're not allowing Louisville to have really any counterattack. So I think they'll probably be playing back, and that comes back to Quinton and Farley. Quinton had an insane play to save a goal in the Virginia game that they ended up actually winning, and I think those two are really important in terms of what you mentioned, like protecting Keegan McLaughlin, because if those two aren't playing well, then Louisville's going to get a lot more shots on target, and McLaughlin's going to have to do a lot more. So I think it really comes down to those two. And then tying all this soccer stuff into our main theme of the show, which is the holiday season, what are we getting Notre Dame's men's soccer team for Christmas? Liz, let's start with you. They need presents.
I did play soccer for most of my life, and I can tell you that there's nothing that soccer players love more than a pasta party. So I would get the Notre Dame men's soccer team one giant pasta party. We've got all types of pasta. We've got spaghetti. We've got penne vodka. You just carve them up. Nothing makes them happier.
Honestly, I did not know that soccer players had such a love of pasta, but that does sound absolutely delicious. My gift for the team is matching team scarves. not just I never played soccer, so I don't know what preferences they have. But I don't think anyone can pass up a free scarf, especially when you rock them as a team. So I think that's a great Christmas gift for them.
Liz, I really like pasta. Do you think I have like a soccer player in me?
I think maybe you were a soccer player and never knew it.
I think I'm going to try out for the team. I'm going to get the ND soccer team. I'm just going to get them PS5s. I think that's like the hot gift this Christmas. I saw a Burger King commercial where they were giving out PS5s, and I didn't know people still went to Burger King.
I mean,
Do you guys go to Burger King?
I mean, not until they're giving out free PS5s, that's for sure.
Oh, apparently our only sponsor is Burger King, and we just lost them. We made fun of the one brand that sponsors us.
Shoot.
I'm just kidding.
That, right?
Haha, we're also sponsored by Fiji Water. Yeah, I think they're gonna enjoy their gifts of pasta, scarves, and PS5s.
I don't think you could go wrong with that combo. I don't.
No, have you guys ever gone wrong with that combo?
No.
I mean, can you eat pasta with a scarf on? Does that get in the way at all? I'm not sure.
Do you cover your mouth with the scarf? That's what the mask. You don't need to cover your. Oh, can you eat pasta with a mask on?
Ooh.
Oh,
You
wait.
could probably slip like some noodles underneath. Try to get under.
You
Yeah,
put
you
it
probably
inside the mask, and then you put the mask on, and you just
could.
eat
Okay,
it.
yeah.
This
yeah.
conversation is disgusting, and I hate it. We're gonna move on to another Mount Rushmore because we have no creativity in our formatting, or me particularly, because I put this show plan together. We're gonna switch from the Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs to the Mount Rushmore of Christmas singers. You see it on the graphic there already. Liz, let's start with you. This is
All right.
important. This might be more important than the original. I don't know. They're pretty close in terms of importance. I'd say they're both more important than the actual Mount Rushmore for sure.
For sure. First on my list, I have Chris Isaak. He dropped one of the best Christmas albums of all time, super underrated, but every time I hear it, it just takes me back to the car ride, getting our Christmas tree every single year the day after Thanksgiving. Chris Isaak, 10 out of 10. Then next we have Michael Bublé. His voice is like microwave mac and cheese. It is just fantastic. I love that man. Next we have Eartha Kitt. She sings the original Santa Baby, and for that, she gets a spot on Mount Rushmore. And then finally, we have Frank Sinatra, because he sings some good non-Christmas songs, but every time I hear his voice, I think of Christmas, and that earns you a spot on my Mount Rushmore.
Kieran.
Yeah, I have actually some similar additions to the Mount Rushmore as Liz. I do have Michael Bublé and Frank Sinatra. I went with two older singers and then two more modern singers. So my older ones were, as I said, Sinatra, and then Nat King Cole. You mentioned Nat King Cole on one of his songs on your Mount Rushmore of songs. So I'm including them too. And then I have Bublé and Mariah Carey. Yeah, you mentioned Bublé has one of the best voices. I don't think I would trade my voice with anyone else in the world except him. It's very, very good voice. And then, yeah, so that's my Mount Rushmore of Christmas singers.
It's pretty good. Yeah. That's a pretty good Mount Rushmore, Kieran. In terms of my Mount Rushmore, so yeah, I started off with Bing Crosby, since his voice just fills up my Christmas playlist. I feel like he's like half the songs on there. It's incredible. He's doing a great job. He's getting that Christmas check. I don't know if he's alive, but his estate is getting that Christmas check every year, so that's great for him. The Vince Guaraldi Trio, they did all the Charlie Brown Christmas music. That's just nostalgic. They took those Christmas specials off of, like, they're not airing them on TV anymore.
No,
they're only
I
airing
know.
them on Disney Plus.
Shoot.
So upsetting.
Did they sponsor us yet, or what?
We're working on that one
Okay,
right now.
perfect.
We're working on it. I mean, Netflix and Disney Plus are fighting over us right now, but we'll make our decision. Who knows? We might go to like HBO Max or something. That'd be cool.
Ooh.
I know, right? And then yeah, Frank Sinatra. I also have him on there. I think he's like a universal pick, just because he's classic with the slick voice. Just warms my heart. And then yeah, I wanted to include like one more modern, but I didn't want to go too modern, since I feel like the actual Mount Rushmore doesn't ever go too modern. So I was like up in the air between three choices. The two that did not make the cut were Bublé and then Pentatonics. Yeah, I love me some a cappella Christmas music, but they did not make the cut. I put Polar Express, Josh Groban, makes the list. Yeah, Believe. It's a great song.
That was on my song Mount
His
Rushmore.
version of Oh Holy Night. Everything. I love Christmas, you guys. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Did everyone see your sweater? Can we take a moment?
I'm wearing a blazer because I'm the host, so I have to be official. But we've got the ugly Christmas sweater. Kieran's got just the ugly sweater, and then Liz didn't bring hers to school. So we're still doing pretty good on the
The
wardrobe.
vibes are great.
I think this is the most fashion forward Inside the Irish we've ever done. All right, so let's move on real quick to back to sports. We've got a little pattern going here. We're going Christmas sports, prioritizing Christmas, of course, and the holidays. Yeah, all the holidays. Women's soccer. There it is. You see it there. So women's soccer, they got a little bit unlucky, you guys. Maybe they were a little naughty and they got a big thing of coal in their stocking, and that thing of coal is an ACC quarterfinal matchup against undefeated Florida State, the #1 team in the country, which Notre Dame lost to earlier this season, 5-0. Guys, does Notre Dame stand a chance in this game? Kieran, you start.
Well, yeah, you mentioned that Florida State is the #1 team in the nation, an absolute juggernaut so far this year, and they've shown that they can beat not only the lower teams in the ACC, but they're coming off a 2-game win streak against Duke and Clemson, who are #3 and #5 in the nation, so they can beat anybody. But I do think that we have a chance. I'm not going to rule it out. You know, there is such thing as Christmas miracles, but you know what? I think that soccer is a sport that any team on any day can win. You know, if you do what you got to do, execute, control the field, control the ball, I think that any team can come out on top, and I think that Notre Dame should go in there with some faith and try to knock off the #1 team in the nation.
Liz, what do you think?
I think, yes, we did lose 5-0 to them in the first game of the season, but I think we've gotten a lot better since then, and because of that, I do think we have a chance. Our goalie is making 72% of her saves, which is an excellent performance from her, and since then, we lost to Clemson 2-1. Clemson, Kieran just said, is a top 5 team, but we played very well in that game. Clemson was only able to score late, and they scored in one of the final minutes of the game. So if Notre Dame can put up a strong performance like that against Florida State, I do think we have a pretty good chance of winning this game.
I guess I'll be the Grinch here. I don't have much hope, you guys. I mean, look, soccer's a crazy sport, so something could always happen. But I mean, you look at Notre Dame this year. Their biggest win's probably against #13 Louisville, and other than that, they've pretty much just gone chalk. They've won against teams they're supposed to beat, and they've lost against teams that are ranked better than them. They haven't really shown that killer instinct to step up to those teams who have proven to be better than them. So I mean, they're going to have to show us something that we haven't seen all year. I like Florida State in this game. I would be surprised if they didn't win, but we'll see, because as we know, Christmas miracles can always happen. So guys, on our list of Christmas miracles, where would Notre Dame beating Florida State in this ACC quarterfinal rank? Kieran, we'll start with you.
All right, so in my list of Christmas miracles, I'm going to have us at, I would say, number three in the list of Christmas miracles. But #1 is obviously, I don't know how it could not be this, the Grinch's heart expansion. I don't think that anything could be more miraculous than that. What a great ending to a great movie. And then my #2, the NBA returning 3 days before Christmas this year. Great news. We got that news last night, I believe. And with such a crazy, I mean, basically every sports, not just the NBA, but every league has really had to turn over and try to work off their feet. And I think that the NBA has done a great job so far, and the fact that they're going to be coming back so soon is great for the fans. I know the players were not totally on board, so hopefully they will actually go and play at the start of the year. But I'm very excited as an NBA fan that it's coming back soon. And then #3, the Notre Dame win over Florida State.
Kieran, my heart expanded 3 times one time, in size by 3 times. I had to go to the hospital.
Oh.
I was in a coma for weeks.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
It just expanded by 3 times its normal size. They said I was lucky I survived.
That's not normal.
This is made up. Liz, you're up next. Where would this rank on your list of Christmas miracles?
This also ranks as #3 for me, and it's going to go below #1, ending coronavirus, because I do miss South Dining Hall, and #2, Notre Dame beating Clemson, because I don't think I even have to explain that one. But #3 would be Notre Dame women's soccer beating Florida State.
So based on this logic, Kieran thinks that basketball coming back is more important than ending the coronavirus.
More important than...
This is a tough look for you, Kieran.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for me. But you know what?
There's still time to change the list.
There's still time for your heart to grow.
We'll put 1A, coronavirus ending,
Okay.
1B,
Okay,
Grinch.
no, that's fair.
Okay, that seems fair. I've also got it at #3, but as well, I've got a different top 2. #1, pretty clear here, is Kevin McAllister from, is his last name McAllister?
I think it's McAllister.
Yeah, I think I got that right. Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. The fact that he just doesn't get straight up murdered. Like, the criminals catch up to him at one point, and like there's just luckily a spider right there. But if that wasn't there, it was lights out for this little 8-year-old boy fighting 2 grown men. And really, those criminals were bad in that movie. Kevin ran out of the house, and they had what they want. They wanted to rob the house, and Kevin was out of the house, and they chased after Kevin. So they really lost sight of the goal there. Bad job. That was bad criminaling. Those wet bandits, they were terrible. And number 2, it's got to be Jesus. He was born. That's crazy, right? Well, I mean,
that do be crazy.
Virgin Mary giving birth to little baby Jesus. That's got to be number 2 on the list, right behind Kevin in Home Alone not getting just murked. And yeah, number three is Notre Dame beating Florida State. And yeah, it just comes in right behind Jesus' birth.
Yeah, it was a close one. It was a toss-up between 2 and 3 there.
Which really gives you, really gives you my thought process on how much of a miracle this game would be. Wow. Okay, so those are our Christmas miracles. And another kind of Christmas miracle that we're going back to the Christmas segment. Like Christmas sports, Christmas time, holidays. And here's the thing. Winter's a long season. And I think we as a society got really lucky that Jesus was born right in the middle of it, because otherwise we'd just have nothing to look forward to. How would our lives be different if Jesus was born in the summer? If Christmas happened in the summer, would we be living in some miserable hellhole?
I just think that not only is Christmas located in a perfect time during the winter, it's also not just a day, it's a whole season. So it really breaks up those tough winter months. I was thinking without Christmas, okay, we look forward to New Year's, but that's one day. Christmas is really, it's weeks and weeks of great vibes, good times. I think we would really suffer without Christmas in December.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Plus, it's a perfect, stopgap to, when the school, for young people that are still in school, a perfect stopgap in between, 2 different semesters gives kind of a break and something to look forward to. A great way to end the year. It's kind of like a good way to look back on the year and try to figure out, it's also with New Year's, but I think Christmas is also a good part of that. Trying to end the year strong. But what we were talking about earlier, the Christmas weather. White Christmas. I don't know what a white Christmas is like with all the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like where I grew up in Los Angeles, and Christmas I would go outside. It would be nice and sunny out, 50, 60 degrees. So I have to ask you guys, what is it like to look outside and see the snow falling on the trees?
Well, I grew up in the North Pole, so it was definitely. I mean, Santa would sometimes employ me to make the toys, which was confusing. But yeah, I grew up in Jersey, so it's a little different. It's way snowier. You're Jersey as well,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
No, but it's exactly how it should be. I don't think Christmas without snow is even Christmas at all. So.
Well, I think there's still a little bit in there,
What do you guys do, like pool parties and stuff?
I wouldn't say pool parties, but I'll go outside and throw a football around and not have to put on a giant jacket just to go outside. It's kind of I kind of would prefer that, but that's just because I grew up there, and we have difference. We can agree to disagree here.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree, but yeah, I also think. Look, I'm glad Jesus was born in December. I think that's great. I think if Christmas was in the summer, just winter would be so long. But I wish Jesus was born I wish he was born on December 31st or December 30th, I would say, because the week between Christmas and New Year's, I feel like I don't exist. It's strange.
Chris Frick, you're so right. That's actually it's like a glitch in the simulation. Like, I'm not sure what happens during those days, but it's not okay.
Okay, and then finally wrapping this up, we'll wrap it up with sports since this is a sports show, so we have to talk about sports. Even though we could do hours-long podcast, hours-long podcast, and all the Christmas things we want to talk about. But real quick, rapid fire, which winter sport are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to men's basketball. I'm really excited to see, the NCAA tournament got canceled last year. The ACC tournament got cut short, so I want to see I was wondering to see how we were going to do in that. We lost a few seniors. But, we got a few transfers coming in. some young guys, some freshmen that are going to be contributing. So definitely looking forward to men's basketball season.
Liz, 5 seconds. What are you going with?
5 seconds, hockey. I didn't make it to any games last year. I'd love to see some hockey.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to snowball fights. This has been Inside the Irish. Thank you for watching. It's been a fun show. I'm Chris Frick. This is Liz Perna. This is Kieran Cantwell. Thank you for tuning in.